And good evening and welcome live to the Triton College Multi-Purpose Stadium for tonight's Region 4 Division II semifinal game as South Suburban, they were supposed to be playing this game at home, but their field is unplayable, so it's the Trojans that are getting the home game here tonight. The winner will get Waubonsie in the championship game. South Suburban ranked number 8 in the country. The Trojans are ranked number 17 in the country. It should be quite a game here tonight. A lot of excitement, a lot of energy, as you would imagine, for a big game like this one this evening, as the Trojans will look to advance to the championship game here. It will be at Waubonsie, as I mentioned, on Saturday beginning at noon. So, with that, we are just about set for now the pregame introductions and all the festivities here this evening as Triton will take on South Suburban. Good evening and welcome to the Multi-Purpose Stadium on the campus of Triton College for tonight's Region 4 Division II Women's Soccer Semifinal game featuring our visitors per se this evening, the number 2 seed, ranked number 8 in the country, the Bulldogs of South Suburban College, taking on the number 3 seed, your Triton College Trojans, who are ranked 17th in the nation. Tonight's winner will travel to Waubonsie for the Region 4 championship. Before we introduce the players for tonight's semifinal game, we ask you to please rise and face the flag to the left of the scoreboard as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Now let's meet both teams. First, for the visitors from South Holland, the Bulldogs of South Suburban College. South Suburban enters 15-2, ranked number 8 in the country. Number 24 in goal, Ruby Rosales. Number 3, Stephanie Mendoza. Number 4, Mia Cruz. Number 5, Ulissa Lozano. Number 6, Montse Solis. Number 18, Amaris Gonzalez. Number 8, Destiny Ashcraft. Number 9, Cristo Sotelo. Number 22, Priscilla Sotelo. Number 11, Valeria Nunez. Number 12, Naya Bejarano. Number 13, Stephanie Del Rio. Number 14, Emily Sanchez. Number 15, Myra Peralta. Number 17, Bianca Kawe. Number 18, Sabrina Ortiz. Number 19, Asunya Morantes. And number 1, Rosario Romero. The head coach of South Suburban is Tony Gonzalez, assisted by Derek Bijic and Aaron Zambrano and Brett Damian. the Bulldogs of South Suburban College. Now let's meet your Triton College Trojans. The Trojans enter tonight overall record of 13 wins, 2 losses, and are ranked 17th in the nation. In goal this evening, Priscilla Ortiz. Number 4, Arlie Castellanos. Number 6, Audrey Carneo. Number 7, Joanna Bahena. Number 8, Sofia Torres Alvarado. Number 9, Denise Jimenez. Number 10, Karen Salgado. Number 11, America Calvario. Number 12, Giselle Molina. Number 13, Stephanie Garcia. Number 14, Evelyn Posada. Number 15, Gloria Salgado. Number 16, Leslie Hernandez. Number 17, Grace Larson. Number 18, Maura Wolf. Number 19, Jimena Castillon. And number 23, Kaylee Castellanos. The head coach of the Trojans is Peter Swiva, assisted by Maciek Orlowski. And before we begin today's game, we'd like to recognize 3 of our players that, no matter the outcome, will be playing their final home game here this evening. Let's recognize our 3 players tonight: Stephanie Torres Alvarado, Stephanie Garcia, and Maura Wolf. Sofia Torres Alvarado, Stephanie Garcia, and Maura Wolf. We thank you all for your contributions to the Triton Women's Soccer program, and best of luck in your future endeavors beyond this season. Good luck to both teams. So there you have it, all the pregame festivities and pomp and circumstance, and now it's time to play some soccer. The winner will get Waubonsie, the top seed. That game will be at Waubonsie Saturday afternoon. Waubonsie, the top seed. They're ranked top 5 in the country. They knocked off Bryant and Stratton 3-1 earlier this afternoon in their semifinal game in Sugar Grove. That game was actually tied at 1 at halftime. Tim McKinney, alongside our producer extraordinaire, Phil Dorner, it is great to have you with us here tonight on the Triton College YouTube channel for this evening's Region 4 Women's Soccer Semifinal. And again, because we have a little bit of a larger crowd, we had a huge crowd here last night for the men's game with Morden. The men will take on Prairie State here Saturday in the championship game. We just don't know what time the game is going to be yet because we haven't heard back from Prairie State. Maybe they'll return our call during the broadcast. But we're hoping to make it a later afternoon start if possible so we can help bring you all of the sights and sounds here live. South Suburban is wearing the sky blue jerseys. The Trojans are in their all black here this evening. Should be a lot of fun. A bonus home game here tonight. We weren't expecting to be here, but we are here. South Suburban, their field was unplayable, so the game got moved, and that's why we're here tonight at Triton. Not much of a breeze at all here this evening. Little chillier than last night. 39 degrees, our game time temperature. Actually, it's with the slight wind chill, it feels like 37. Winds, if any, up to 5 miles an hour. Relative humidity at 48%. These two teams played each other way back in September. They're the last team that has defeated the Trojans. The Trojans have on a huge winning streak Their last loss was to South Suburban. They played out in South Holland. The Trojans fell 2-1 in that contest. They had a 1-0 lead at halftime, had a ton of scoring chances to possibly open the lead up early in the second half, but South Suburban got a goal about midway through the second half and then scored one late to win the game 2-1. The Trojans are on a 10-game winning streak since that loss to South Suburban. Again, they played back on September the 18th. Carvario, an early shot attempt, and that goes wide. Again, she's the top scorer for the Trojans. Had a pair of goals in the 6-0 win here Sunday on Halloween against the College of Lake County. And trying to run it down in the corner, but Karen Salgado was unable to do so. Ruby Rosales is in goal this evening for South Suburban. Priscilla Ortiz is in front of the goal for the Trojans. Again, another nice-sized crowd has began to settle in on this Wednesday night. Salgado, she'll get the ball wide. We'll look to run it down, but that pass off the mark. And it will be a throw-in for the Trojans. And we welcome everyone that's tuning in, joining us here on the YouTube channel, TritonAthletics.com. We know we have many from South Suburban also tuning in here this evening. We welcome you all to the broadcast as well. Be a free kick for the Bulldogs. But the Trojans are able to control it near midfield. They'll play the ball back. Bahena. Now Carnejo along the far side. Mora Wolf. Long ball ahead. Carvario did her best to run it down, but could not. And they'll battle for it along the far side, and it will be a Trojan throw-in as we played nearly 5 minutes here this evening. The U Salies have been brought out this evening for the game, like we're at the World Cup. That was ran down by Jimenez. It will be a throw-in for the Trojans. And now South Suburban, they'll throw it back in play. But the Trojans able to get possession back quickly. Long ball ahead, but that one off target was intended for Carvario. Now a chance for South Suburban, but cleared out by Audrey Carnejo. Trojans looking to clear it completely out of their own end. Good job right there. Excellent work with the ball there to get it out of trouble. But Triton gives it right back away, and now they're going to have to play it back toward the corner. Long ball ahead by Grace Larson out to Salgado. Karen Salgado to Mora Wolf. Wolf plays it out, but the Bulldogs able to control momentarily, but Calvario was there. We played almost 7 minutes. And there's a little pushing there, but now we finally have a foul called, and the Trojans will get a free kick. Long ball out ahead toward the Trojan offensive end, but played back by South Suburban. Again, you figured it's going to be, well, what happened in the first meeting, both teams really just was early on. They were just feeling each other out to start the game. Triton did score. I believe if my memory was correct, it was Calvario who scored the goal for them late in the first half that gave them a 1-0 lead at halftime. So I'd be surprised if this would be a relatively high-scoring game, but we'll see. Chance here for South Suburban, and they score. Destiny Ashcraft, we believe, got the goal, and it is Ashcraft who scored. Long strike for about close to 20 yards out, and South Suburban, they get the early tally here tonight. Well, maybe the fortunes may reverse because it was Triton who scored first in the first meeting. But now the Trojans will need to rally. For Ashcraft, her 9th goal of the year. 1-0 South Suburban. And that's a little bit of an early momentum killer, but we'll see if the Trojans can answer and settle back down here and pick up the equalizer. Trojans looking to get something going here on the attack. Carvario for Jimenez, but South Suburban will get the throw in. Or actually a free kick, I should say, for the Bulldogs. South Suburban got to this semifinal by virtue of a 2-0 win Sunday against Moraine Valley. That game Sunday was played out at Marion Catholic High School due to the field situation. And again, South Suburban was looking for an alternative location to play this game, and all the area high school fields were booked, and we got the call late Tuesday afternoon that this game was going to be here at Triton. Ball out ahead. Another good opportunity here for South Suburban, but well defended by the Trojans, but a foul appears to be called, but it will be on the Bulldogs. Free kick for the Trojans. And again, another nice-sized crowd here this evening for this game. Not as loud as the other crowd was last night, but again, the early goal will help silence the Trojan fans that are here this evening. That one out of bounds toward the corner, and we'll see if it's a throw-in or a corner kick for Triton. It appears it will be a corner kick if I'm not mistaken. It will be a throw-in for South Suburban. Trojans will play it back. Carnejo near midfield. Looking to swing it out wide. Posada plays it back. Kaylee Castellanos. But again, South Suburban has played well here early on. They've made things rather difficult on Triton. They've been, as soon as the Trojans try and gain any bit of possession, they've played it tight. How about this? There we go.
Hey, what about my guy here? What is he, chopped liver?
We can share up here. Look at that there. Got to get it on high blood. This might be the most comfortable I've ever been for a game that I've ever called. If people knew what happened behind the scenes around here, we can write a book. But we played now 13 minutes. And we'll have a throw-in coming up for South Suburban. And again, because we have a big crowd this evening, the benches have been moved opposite of the fans this evening. So the benches are all the way down on the other side tonight. Kaylee Castellanos, but cleared out by South Suburban. But the Trojans will have another chance to play it back. Jimena Castillon. Long ball ahead. Can Karen Salgado trace it down? She does. A cross attempt, but Carvalho is cut off before her attempt to get to the ball. A lot of traffic inside there, but again, the Trojans just haven't been able to get any clear looks. Best ball was that one early on in the opening couple minutes by Carvalho. But other than that, it has been South Suburban that has controlled things. Here's a long strike ahead, and that's good. Another long and deep goal for South Suburban. Myra Peralta with the goal for South Suburban. And suddenly, an early shocker here. It is 2-0 South Suburban on 2 long, deep goals. Well, Triton's going to need to answer here, or this could be a runaway here. Ortiz comes up to get the stop, and not the start you were envisioning if you're the Trojans here so far. Well, South Suburban has done what you're supposed to do when you travel on the road, and they probably, I have to say, may not be happy that they had to make this trip. They would have probably loved to play this game on their home field, but you figure the Trojans with the quote-unquote home field advantage just would help play to their favor, but it's been South Suburban so far. And offsides to call. See if the Trojans can get something going here. Ball played toward the middle, but off target, and South Suburban will be able to clear it out of trouble once again. And now with the 2-0 lead, very early on, I don't think South Suburban will be conservative because you just can't take this for granted, but now they just don't have to take as many chances at this point. It's just a matter of defending and killing the clock. And South Suburban will now get a throw in. So 19 minutes going by. 2-0 Bulldogs. Ashcraft. The Trojans able to play it back Salgado. But again, the Trojans just have not been able to generate very much here so far. $39 here at game time. Again, the winner tonight will get Wabanzi for the Region 4 championship and the national tournament bid, the automatic bid. There's an opportunity for an at-large bid, but you would imagine winning this game tonight, whoever wins this game, I think no matter what, just in my eyes, based upon how the season has gone, would play themselves into the national tournament regardless of what happens at Waubonsee on Saturday, just due to the strength of the Region 4. 3 teams ranked, all in this semifinal. Waubonsee, who won earlier today, is already going on. And then this second semifinal, this 2-3 matchup, the other 2 nationally ranked teams, South Suburban, came in ranked 8th. The Trojans ranked 7th in the nation. And then we did get the goal for South Suburban. Again, their number is a little bit hard to read from up here because those are those thin black font on that sky blue from up here. But it was Naya Baharano with the goal for South Suburban. So, again, we'll pick up the players as best as we can from our vantage point. Again, the nice thing, at least, about the Triton numbers with those big white numerals, you can pick them up a little bit easier from up here. Castillon to Calvario. Long out to Karen Salgado. Now Calvario looking to make her move in, but the ball's played back out by South Suburban. Will be a Trojan throw-in. Now Grace Larson plays it, but South Suburban, a lot of blue jerseys there to help defend and clear it out of harm's way. It will be another throw-in for the Trojans. Now this might be an opportunity. Posada, but not able to get a strike. Karen Salgado. Salgado looking to make a move in. Instead goes out toward the center. Denise Jimenez, they'll play it out wide. But South Suburban, once again, quickly there. As soon as the Trojans try to organize something, it's just been a blue jersey in the neighborhood. So the 2 goals been by Ashcraft and Baharano, and we're going to have a foul on the Bulldogs, so this will be a free kick for Triton. Again, this big contingent for Triton here tonight, looking for something to cheer about. Grace Larson, she'll have the free kick. Long ball ahead, and it is stopped by Rosales. She was able to play that nicely. She would have maybe took a couple more steps in. That could have potentially sailed over her head. And we'll have a goal kick by Ortiz. Trojans get it out toward midfield. And here's a chance maybe here. Trojans have a run. Castellanos looking wide, but Salgado unable to get there, but will have a throw in. South Suburban, their 2 losses on the year. They're 14-2 overall. They lost to Heartland, their first game of the year, and their only other loss is to Wabanzi, 4-0. They played them the final game of the regular season and lost at Wabanzi. Again, the winner will travel there over the weekend for the Region 4 championship. Again, Trojans 12-2, but in a lot of trouble here early on. Under 18 minutes remaining before halftime. Carvario goes wide. Salgado looking to battle for it. Her and Ashcraft. And it will be a throw-in for South Suburban. Kawe gets it in. Kawe. Along the near side. Larson. Now Salgado. Ashcraft comes in, but Salgado able to get rid of it out to Posada. Posada, nothing doing there. Now chance Bahena for Carvario. Nice move by Carvario. Can she get the shot off? She does. But tried to set it up for Jimenez, who just could not get there. But again, he's got to generate at least something positive. Even if you didn't score right there, at least that was a good surge offensively for the Trojans. But it may be key for Triton to at least get something before halftime to gain some momentum here. Bahena, Kaylee Castellanos back to Bahena. Now Carvario. Castellanos gets control, but loses it. Ashcraft runs it up the sideline, but out of play. Will be a throw-in for the Trojans. Carnejo quickly gets it in. But South Suburban able to grab control. Ball out ahead. They'll run it down. This may be a chance. Bejarano, but it's headed up front by the Trojans. Bejarano got that last goal that made it 2-0 and almost had an opportunity there. Long ball ahead intended for Carvario, but South Suburban will clear it back the opposite direction. Baharea. Rano, oh, that's a shot, and Ortiz able to stop it. Salgado. That one went off the shoulder of Carvario. But again, it's been a first half that has been controlled here by South Suburban. Trojans just looking to get something going here, this final portion of this first half. And they'll battle for it along the far side in the corner. And will be a throw-in for Triton. It's a busy stretch for us here. We've had a lot of action happening this week. This has been probably one of the busiest weeks we've ever had. I know I'm exhausted. We had men's soccer Saturday, women's soccer Sunday, men's soccer Tuesday. There's an opportunity and a goal. 3-0 South Suburban. Well, this isn't looking good. Sabrina Ortiz makes it 3-0 South Suburban. Wow. I don't think we maybe were expecting this. But we didn't expect men's soccer to win 5-1 over Morton last night. Figured that would be a close game. Figured this would be a close game, and things have gotten a little out of hand here for the Trojans. So Ortiz will get credited for the goal. Now South Suburban, they feel like they have Triton on the ropes. But as we said, this was a busy week. Tonight we got basketball doubleheader tomorrow. Home opener for both the men's and women's basketball teams. Ladies got a victory last night. We'll have Wayne County from Detroit come in here at 5:30. Then the men will take on the College of Lake County at 7:30. And John Clancy's debut. And then we're here Saturday versus Prairie State. We just don't know what time yet still. At some point, we'll get a call back and figure that out, we hope. But there could be a few possibilities. But go to TritonAthletics.com, and once we know officially, which we would hope by tomorrow morning, we'll update the website. Right now we have it as TBA for the men's regional final here versus Prairie State. Actually, I forgot here, they did change number 18, did South Suburban. So the goal was Aramis Gonzalez. Because the roster, we did get Ortiz was their original number 18, but they did correct that for us as well. So it's Aramis Gonzalez who got that goal for the Bulldogs. So it was number 8, but no, actually, no, you're right. So, again, like I said, from up here, those numbers are a little bit tough to pick up. But we know for certain it's 3-0 South Suburban, and that's not the news we were hoping to report here from the Triton side of things. But we know the South Suburban fans tuning in are enjoying us. And, again, there's always been a lot of rivalry between Triton and South Suburban, most notably both in basketball and baseball, and of course with now the new Division II that was formed last year, these two teams now in schools form a rivalry in soccer, both on the men and the women's side. So we're under 10 minutes remaining before halftime. Can the Trojans generate something? Just has not been a good first half for the Trojans. And they've come in with a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence that the way they've played coming into this postseason. Again, the Triton's last loss was at the hands of South Suburban back in September. Bahena, a little spin move. Crowd loves that, but again, you just can't get a shot off. But again, you'll do whatever you can to generate some momentum. Well, we had a few hundred here last night. Let's say we got at least a couple hundred here this evening. Probably a little more than that. I think we had, I would guess, we had about 500 people here last night. I would say. I know you weren't here with us last night. You missed out on the fun. I would say maybe about 300 or so are here this evening. That's kind of like why we like these night games, because people come out, even though, yeah, it's a little cold. It was going to be cold if we were to play during the day anyway, so there's not much of a difference if we would have been here at 2 o'clock or 7 o'clock. It was still going to be cold. But playing at this time gives the fans an opportunity to see their loved ones play. If it's a parent, brother, sister, cousin, grandparents, whatever, friends, you know, this is why these games are scheduled at night, because you know you can get crowds like this. A 2 o'clock game when people are at work, you're not going to get a crowd like this. And we've seen that here each of the last 2 nights. And it's been great to see. It's been great to see that these fans have come out this evening. Hopefully we'll have something to cheer about here soon for the Trojans, because they have a lot of work to do. It's been all South Suburban thus far. Carnejo looking downfield. That was intended for Jimenez, but Cavario will run it down toward the corner. Back to Jimenez. But again, good pressure by South Suburban defensively, and the Trojans not able to get anything going. They'll play the ball back. Bahena ran down by Carnejo. Midfield, the Bulldogs have control. 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. 3-0 Bulldogs. Ashcraft, Bajerano, and Gonzalez with the goals for the Bulldogs. I have to say, there's another chance for South Suburban, but well defended by Carnejo. Also have to say good hello to our good friend Phil Kosinski, the head assistant baseball coach, SID over at South Suburban. So far, it's a good result for the Bulldogs side. As we got a foul, it will be a free kick for Triton. Ball played out toward midfield, toward the box, but it was headed out of traffic, and it will be a throw-in for the Trojans. Actually, they'll call it a corner kick instead. So we'll see if Triton can get something set off of here. Larson with the corner. That one headed in front, but in traffic, it goes out of play. And will be a goal kick for South Suburban, it appears. Three nothing. 3 minutes left before halftime. Audrey Carnejo. Trojans looking to get something generated. Ball out ahead. Chance. Carvario was there, but South Suburban able to get out of play, and some friendly fire there by the Trojans. Castellanos. That one went off of one of her teammates. And foul called. They'll still go after it after the play. Be a free kick for Triton. But we're down to 2 minutes remaining. First half. Again, a half controlled by South Suburban. And again, those first couple goals were just on some deep balls from way out. Carvario with it. Looking to get a surge ahead on the counterattack. Carvario wide out for Salgado. Salgado, can she get there? She does. Gets a foot on it, but there was nobody home. A minute remaining before halftime. And a misplay there. And we'll see what the call will be. Handball. Free kick for Triton. Clock winding down here, so this may be the last chance for the Trojans before halftime. Kaylee Castellanos is there. Clock winding down. This should be the last gasp before halftime. Castellanos' strike is just high. Wow. Good ball struck by Kaylee Castellanos, but that will do it for the first half. We reached halftime in this Region 4 Division II semifinal. Bad news so far here for the Trojans. South Suburban 3, Triton nothing. So we'll pause. We'll take a 15-minute break. We'll all warm up. And we'll have the second half and see if the Trojans can turn things around. You're watching this Region 4 semifinal live on the Triton College YouTube channel and TritonAthletics.com. We're not Starbucks, unfortunately. And we are back here at the multi-purpose stadium, Triton College, River Grove. It's moments away from the second half. The famous Catucci brothers paid us a visit at halftime. They'll be working very hard during basketball season beginning tomorrow. They'll help keep Phil Dorner company up in his perch high above the Collins Center. I'll get him a shot of him really quick there, Phil, before we get a... There they are, right there. Get them. They haven't started. There they are. Get them on camera there, Phil. There they go. There they go. There they are. There. Those are the guys. All right, here we go. The second half is underway. Tim McKinney, Phil Dorner. Darvell's enjoying the Tri-Cafe at halftime. We didn't get a special delivery from them at all, but again, they did take care of us up here tonight, so I won't complain. Yeah. But there's nothing to laugh about if you're Triton right now because they're down 3-0. So we'll see if the ladies can put together a comeback, but it starts with one. You got to start with one. You just can't think about three. You just got to get that first one. We'll see what adjustments Peter Swiva and Maciek Orlowski have made. Again, their big goal scorer, Gonzalez, got the third goal in the first half. Bajarano and Destiny Ashcraft got the other two goals for South Suburban. And Trojans had a decent chance early, a decent chance late, but really not much in between. South Suburban has defended rather well here tonight. Again, tonight's winner, if you're just joining us, will visit Wabanzi on Saturday for the Region 4 championship. Again, this is the furthest Triton has ever gotten in the postseason. This 12-2 record, their best ever in school history. Program's been around since 2006. But now if you're Triton, you just got to take some chances. Going to have to press a little more, gamble a bit to try and get back in this game. South Suburban will just look to defend, keep the clock moving, and not do anything silly with a 3-goal lead. But again, I think if you're South Suburban, as I mentioned when they were up 2-0, they just aren't going to settle off of that because they know potentially what kind of firepower that the Trojans have. I think Triton has gained a lot of respect this season. Many people didn't rank them. They didn't get ranked until the final poll of the year this week because, as I've mentioned in our previous games we've done, these games and rankings have been more off of reputation. The team hasn't had a winning season until this year, and a lot of these rankings are voted off of reputation instead of the actual results, and it was great to see that the team finally got the recognition this week to get nationally ranked. But they're going to have to work their tails off to try and overcome this deficit because I believe, as I've talked about earlier, the winner of this game, no matter what, will likely secure an at-large bid regardless of the result Saturday against Wabanzi. That's just in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I would think how deep our region has been this year with 3 ranked teams, you're not going to deny one of these teams in the region an at-large bid. But it depends on what happens elsewhere in the country as well. Calvario with some space for Carnejo, but not able to quite track it down. And a throw in for South Suburban. And Ortiz will have a goal kick. 5 minutes gone by in this second half. Posada. But again, South Suburban, they don't mind playing a game of kickball with not much happening with the 3-goal lead. Posada lost the handle. Now South Suburban with a bit of a rush. But it's ran down in the corner. And the free kick for the Trojans. Ball just plays right back to Ortiz. Again, if the action stays down on this end, this really favors South Suburban. Trojans looking for a push. Jimenez, but nothing doing again. Again, a big crowd here this evening. A lot of Trojan fans, but they've been rather quieted by the Bulldogs. In the corner and out of play. And again, South Suburban will just take their precious time here now. You got to pinch a little bit more, take some chances. There you go, but Larson had it. Battles for it, Jimenez. Kaylee Castellanos. Castellanos looking to run it down. Did win that battle, but South Suburban gets it back out, and now they look to potentially counter here. Gonzalez now gets it out in front, but Carneo able to deflect it out as that shot attempt by Bejarano is easily stopped. We played almost 8 minutes in this second half. Oh, how about that there? A little late trick-or-treat present. Happy Halloween, Phil Dorner. Thought they would throw tomatoes at us up here in the booth. Instead, it's raining candy up here instead. I didn't have a chance to get that 50% off Halloween candy because I've been so busy around here. I think I've lived here the last 4 days. We were here on Halloween as well on Sunday. That's when the women knocked off Lake County to get into this game this evening. But again, South Suburban has to be happy with this start. We've played almost 10 minutes, and again, the Trojans have not been able to generate anything on the offensive end. But again, another good crowd, as we talked about. I'd say we got about between 200, 300 people here tonight. In front, but nobody in a black jersey was there. A lot of blue jerseys. South Suburban just packed it in, but that was a good ball. Here comes Triton. Trying to get something. A lot of contact there. Just will be a common foul on South Suburban. But a chance here for Triton. They're going to get a free kick from nearly 30 yards out. Grace Larson. See if the Trojans can cash in. Larson fires it, but it's stopped by Rosales. Off the one hop. It's also good to have the head coach of the women's team, Marcus Hatcher, women's basketball. He's tuning in, hoping for a Triton comeback. Again, the women's basketball team will be in action tomorrow, 5:30. We'll have it streamed live against Wayne County from Detroit, making the trip into Chicago. Then we'll have the men to follow at 7:30 versus CLC, otherwise known as the College of Lake County. Not TLC, Darvell, but CLC. Here's a chance. Gonzalez. Ortiz vacated the net. Shot stopped by Ortiz. Great effort there by Priscilla, or that could have been 4-0. But again, South Suburban has really dictated most of the ball possession here in the early stages of the second half. That's a great save, but we got to find a way to get something going. But again, Trojans are down. They got to take some chances. Corner. Header deflected in front, and South Suburban will try a cross, and Ortiz bobbled it momentarily, but able to corral it. Some contact, but it'll be a goal kick for Priscilla Ortiz. "32 minutes left. Gonzalez. Now we'll see if Triton can get something going here on this cool evening. Again, it was 41 degrees. Now down to 37. Whistle, player down for Triton. That's Denise Jimenez. Haven't been any cards yet in this game. There have been a number of fouls, but no cards yet. It will be a free kick for the Trojans from midfield by Grace Larson. Long strike. Is someone there? Ball headed. Carvario not able to get it cleanly as it goes out of play beyond the back of the net. It will be a goal kick for South Suburban. And again, the Bulldogs will take their time here. No need for them to rush with the cushion they have. The winner will get Wabanzi for the regional championship. Wabanzi, a 3-1 winner earlier today in Sugar Grove against Bryant and Stratton. Half hour left. Will be a half hour left in the Trojan season. We will see. They're going to need a lot of things to go their way. We've seen some crazy comebacks on the men's side, but do the women have a rabbit out of their hat? But here's a chance for South Suburban again. Larson able to cut off the South Suburban player. Good tackle. And the Trojans will look to counter here, but again, all blue jerseys in the neighborhood. And a foul on Triton. It will be a free kick for South Suburban. But that was great defense by Grace Larson, or again, South Suburban would have had a chance to make it 4-0. Bulldogs, here comes the run toward the net. Deflected, in front, that's wide. Off the side of the net. Ortiz gets the spare ball quickly, that's back behind the net. And the goal, they'll play it back in quick. Calvario really's had the one good chance early and has been contained pretty much tonight by South Suburban. Again, they've been playing her tight. They know she's been the big weapon for Triton this season. Carnejo now outside. And Carvario was looking for her, but South Suburban created a lot of traffic in the passing lane for her not to target her. Jimenez now with a little space. Now Castellanos to strike, but Rosales with the save. Ruby Rosales, the freshman out of Carver Military Academy. Just every time you have a chance, you just got to fire it toward her direction and hope that one gets misplayed, give you a second chance opportunity. But at least the Trojans have been able to maintain some ball possession here on their end. The offensive end. But now South Suburban looking to counter. Here comes another chance, but Ortiz will run up and play it. A collision. That was with her own teammate. Jimenez looking to push it. Jimenez to Carnejo. Audrey out ahead, but South Suburban right there once more. We approach almost the midway point of this second half. 3-0 was the score at halftime, and we are still at that score. No goals so far in this second half. Rano's pass picked off. Calvario looking outside for Posada. It'll be a throw-in for Posada. South Suburban will get a throw in on the far side. We played 20 minutes in this second half. Shot toward Ortiz. That's in. Another deep one. Another deep one for South Suburban. They've just fired some long-range shots that have gone in. And it's now 4-0 Bulldogs. Boy, that's just tough to give up a goal, again, that far out. Carvario trying to get something going. Weaves through defenders and misses wide. Well, she did everything on her own right there. So that last South Suburban goal appears we credit it to Priscilla Sotelo for the Bulldogs. It's who we had on that last goal. But again, that was just something from way out. 4-0 Bulldogs. And things just not going the Trojans' way here tonight. And, Sotelo, she's the second leading scorer. That's goal 28 for her. Again, we saw Gonzalez. She has 33 and made it 34 earlier in the half. So the two big scorers for South Suburban have done the damage, and that's going to be offsides. And that may have been the backbreaker for Triton. Well, we'll see, Leaf, if the Trojans can get something on the board here. So right now, it appears South Suburban has this game well in hand. And again, the Trojans won 10 in a row entering this game tonight. Again, their last loss was to South Suburban back on September the 18th. And a lot of contact there and nothing called. And we'll have a stoppage here for the injury. 21 minutes left. We got two players down, one from each side. And hopefully both players are okay, but we just have the one trainer. Again, this game was scheduled to be played at South Suburban, so we have their trainer working the game here this evening as part of the agreement to move the game here tonight. Because, again, this game was supposed to be at South Suburban, but their field was deemed unplayable from all the rain from late last week. So their grass field was not going to be in condition to play the game today. They had nowhere to play the game. They tried calling a bunch of the area high schools looking for somewhere to play out there. They played their playoff game Sunday over at Marion Catholic High School, but they couldn't find anywhere. All those fields in the south suburbs were booked, and they asked if we could host, and that's why we're here tonight. So Jimenez is up for Triton. She's okay. The South Suburban player will get assistance off the field. I don't know if they even realized that one of our players was down, but it is what it is. She's back up anyway. For nothing. Wasn't really expecting this. Thought we were going to be in for a close game similar to the first meeting, but South Suburban has had their way here tonight. And if this is it for the Triton women's soccer team, it's been quite a run for them, a historic season, first ever winning season in program history, most wins in program history. Calvario's going to break the scoring record. They've built a lot of momentum and gained a lot of respect this year. And I think many know they'll be a team to deal with here in the future. Peter Suiva and Maciek Orlowski have done a great job with this women's program since they've taken over to do double duty. The last 3-4 years, they've been doing double duty both on the men and the women's side. Of course, those guys have been on the men's side for over a decade and came over to also add the women to their workload here, and have done a great job running both teams. Again, we'll have the men's regional championship here Saturday. We still don't know what time the game will be. Well, they might make it a noon start if this result holds, but I know we're looking to try and make it a later game if we can. But Triton will play Prairie State here Saturday. We'll have that game regardless. It will be streamed on the Triton YouTube channel. Under 20 minutes left. Bulldogs looking to get their 15th win, sweep the season series over Triton, and potentially, again, end the Trojan season. Because, again, I thought maybe the winner of this game would have the inside track, regardless of the winner or loser of the championship game, that the two teams making the final would get at-large, would get national tournament bids. The winner gets the automatic bid. The loser likely would have gotten the at-large bid. So with Triton potentially losing to South Suburban twice, and Wabanzi, despite what they've done this year, it's going to be pretty tough for them to get an at-large bid, I would say. Winning tonight, I think, would have locked it up regardless of what would have happened against Wabanzi, but I think you could say the same thing for South Suburban tonight. But they're going to have to try and solve the puzzle against Wabanzi themselves, because they just lost to them 4-0 a couple weeks ago. There's a strike, but that's outside. Carvario has had a couple decent chances here, but nothing on the score sheet thus far here tonight. The only time the Trojans have been shut out was by Wabanzi. It was a 1-0 defeat in that game. But South Suburban will just continue to take some time, milk precious seconds off the clock. Larson will play the ball back, the product out of Riverside, Brookfield. Carnejo looking to get it up ahead. Posada was there, but it's cut off by South Suburban. Now Carvario blocked in front. And you just got to credit the South Suburban defense here tonight. It just seems like every time Triton attempts to do something, there's a Carolina blue jersey somewhere. We approach 16 minutes remaining. South Suburban led it 3-0 at halftime. But Procillo Sotelo, the lone goal in this second half for the Bulldogs. Again, they've had 4 goals by 4 different players here this evening. Gonzalez, Sotelo, Bajarano, and Ashcraft. $15 minutes to go. Calvario dumps it off. Salgado was tripped up. Here comes South Suburban. Castellanos takes control. Ball out ahead, but no black jersey there. But South Suburban able to well defend it again. Sotelo is fouled to the dismay of the crowd, and it will be a free kick for South Suburban. Here comes Kaylee Castellanos for Carvario, but it's quickly again South Suburban there to defend. Corner kick, there's a chance! But Rosales again with the stop. Carnejo was there, but Rosales denies her. Under 13 minutes remaining. Here's Gonzalez with a strike, and that will sail through the goalpost of the football stanchion. Might have been more accurate than some NFL kickers. No double doinks here tonight, but we've been in a double trouble with this score. Up front, that header goes wide. Goal kick for the Trojans. Again, Trojans 12-2 entering. And again, their only two losses were 2-1 to South Suburban, 1-0 to the Wabanzi. Two losses for South Suburban, Wabanzi and Heartland. Going to need a lot to happen in a hurry. But can the Trojans get something at least? Oh, that's a collision there. Carnejo goes down. And finally, there's our first card of the night coming up. And there it is. And they're going to call that foul just outside the box, so it's not going to be a penalty kick. It'll be a free kick from just outside the box for the Trojans. Grace Larson on the free kick. South Suburban sets the wall up, and it's stopped by Rosales. Under 11 minutes to go. South Suburban comfortably in front. Larson, nowhere to go. Trojans have had more chances in this second half, but nothing to show for it here on the scoreboard. Larson plays it outside for Salgado. But we're now down to the final 10 minutes. And South Suburban, even though they're the better seed and lost the home game, and had to play a de facto road game here tonight, they're doing what a road team should do in a hostile environment, because we've had a big crowd here tonight, close to 300 or so are here tonight. They've taken the fans out of this game, the Triton fans. Here's Calvario, but Rosales able to snatch it up. Throw in for South Suburban. Castellanos will play it back to Larson. Long ball ahead. Carvario heads it out, but Salgado not quite there for it. They'll play it, but again, South Suburban, they got a blue jersey right there. It's been a very good, very solid defensive showing tonight for South Suburban. Posado's shot in front was blocked. And goes Rosales, will get the goal kick as we're under 8 minutes remaining. Again, things are looking good for the Bulldogs to move on to the championship game. Again, the winner will play at Wabanzi, and it's looking like it's South Suburban. Oh, that one was whiffed, but Rosales is there to back it up easily for the Bulldogs. Seven minutes remaining. You like to at least get a goal to give the home fans something to cheer about here in this final few minutes. But here comes South Suburban again outside. But again, we're up 4-0. They're going to play the ball back. I think closer game, earlier situation, they would have been a little more aggressive there, but they really have no reason to score. Ball out ahead. Here's America Calvario with space. But again, well defended. Collision there as Jimenez came in trying to get after it. Castellanos. She's now injured. She's down. And the clock will stop with 6:14 remaining. And here comes the trainer. Again, it's not our trainer this evening. It's the South Suburban trainer that's working this game tonight. But the Trojans just have not been able to. They've had some chances. But again, South Suburban's been able to move back, pack it in when they've had to. Every time the Trojans have looked to play the ball deep, every time you look, there's a blue jersey there. So they'll attend. And we got another Trojan player that's also down, but I just think that's just more Jimenez. I think just more stretching out. She's apparently okay. So Castellanos is helped up. She'll walk off the field under her own power, but while this goes on, we're going to see substitutions. Again, they're on the far side, so it's, again, hard for us to read them. Again, the benches are normally here for a normal game on the near side, but because of the huge crowds we've received or we're anticipating for the men's game last night and this game tonight, we've had two big crowds each of the last two nights here. The benches were moved away from the fans just to ensure we wouldn't have any problems. Because we didn't want Darvell to play bouncer out there and kick anybody out of here tonight. Phil Dorner would have gotten it on camera if it did occur. But instead, we got Bobby Stevens down there instead patrolling the sidelines. But he does a great job supervising our events. And I appreciate the gift that he provided us up here in the booth this evening. And Garrett Abizishan, our Associate Vice President of Athletics as well, for helping us out to get through the evening here in our palatial broadcast booth, because we left the windows open overnight, as you can tell. Darvell, I keep reminding you to close the windows after we leave every night. The Catucci stole the windows, I heard. Okay. Ah, boy, oh, boy. Watch out here. And we're going to have a whistle and a stoppage. No card was displayed, but he did ask for the clock to stop. So we approach 5 minutes to go. Carvario chases, but Rosales is there. And looks like some words are being exchanged. Again, some frustration starting to show here, as I think, not the night that Triton envisioned. This game really not indicative of their season in the way they've played all year. But you got to give South Suburban credit. They have come in and have played an excellent game. But you like to at least try and get one on the board before it ends. But we know this time tomorrow we'll be inside for basketball. I know it's cold when I can see the breath coming out of my mouth from up here in the booth.
Right, Tim? My indoor heating is not working.
This gives me flashbacks of Darvell being in the hotel room in Alabama, how cold it is out here.
Jeez, Tim. 69.
It was a little frosty in the room for those few days. I didn't bring my overcoat for that trip like I'm wearing tonight. It said 69, but with a wind chill, it felt like 49. Well, this clock keeps winding down as we're under 3 minutes remaining. America Calvario, an outstanding year for her. She's an All-American candidate, but did finish first team All-Region. Think this young lady from South Suburban, who we saw, Gonzalez, is going to probably have a say in the running. And imagine Wabanzi's top player. And that outcome Saturday between South Suburban and Wabanzi may determine who the All-American is. Larson, that shot opportunity was wide, and a goal kick for Rosales. Final 2 minutes of this one. The Bulldogs will move on to the championship game. They're going to visit Wabanzi on Saturday. They'll improve to 15-2. Trojans Likely this may be the end of the line for the Trojans. I don't know if they'll get an at-large bid. I don't think it may be in the cards with this result tonight. And their season's likely going to end 12-3. But again, a history-making season for the Triton College women's soccer team. They gave us a lot of excitement. They're good kids. They really are. We've gotten to know them during the season, off the field with a lot of the stuff we do in the office, especially with that eligibility paperwork, and there are other things early on to get the season started and coming out to many of their games. And that could be a foul on Larson. But again, in the final minute, they're not going to stop this. They're going to just try and give everyone a warning and hope this can end with cooler heads prevailing. 40 seconds remaining. And South Suburban will get the shutout here tonight. And maybe one more goal, but a good stop by Ortiz, a collision. And now the clock will stop, and this will be a card with the collision with the goalie. I think it may be a card, but she's down. And here comes the trainer. 21 seconds remaining. Again, a big thank you to our entire home crew. Again, we'll have soccer. We'll be out here one more time Saturday. We just, again, still don't know what time the game will be. We hope to find out in the morning if the calls get returned from the opposition. Prairie State will be the opponent. Saturday, we'll have that here live on the Triton YouTube channel. Phil Dorner, I appreciate all of his work and assistance, as always, up here in the booth, producing and running the camera for our stream tonight, especially in these chilly conditions. Our entire home crew all year, we appreciate all of their efforts and support. We also, a big thanks to our friends in the Triton IT department as well for all of their help, as it's not easy to put these productions together on short notice, but somehow, some way, we've been able to pull them off. It's it's not as easy as people think. It really is not. It is not as easy. It's a lot of time on the phone to coordinate this, and it's a lot of work, and I thank all of our good friends I've known over the years for pitching in to help us out here. Again, we'll have Triton basketball streaming tomorrow night live on the Triton YouTube channel. Home opener for the men and women's teams. The women will play against Wayne County out of Michigan from Detroit at 5:30. And then the Triton men basketball team will play their season opener at 7:30. The women are 1-0. They won yesterday. So it'll be game number 2 for them. And again, we'll have soccer Saturday. And also, big thanks to all of you that have tuned in as well. We hope you all appreciate the fact that we've streamed this to give those of you that are not here the opportunity to watch the game. Especially, we do it for free. Many schools charge these days. We do not, as this will be the final seconds. And that is it. The game is over. And the South Suburban Bulldogs have moved on to the Region 4 championship game as they shut out Triton tonight by the final of 4-0. The number 8 ranked Bulldogs beat the number 17 ranked Trojans to improve to 15-2. And it looks like the Trojan season will come to an end 12-3. Again, a historic year for the Trojans, record-breaking in many ways, their first ever winning season, but they'll be back. And the team will salute the crowd for their support. Great job by the ladies. Got to give them an applaud. Applaud them back. Big crowd came out tonight, but many will leave disappointed as South Suburban pulls off the win by the final of 4-0 here tonight in River Grove on this cool and chilly night for soccer. But we made it. We got through it. But unfortunately, it's going to be South Suburban that will move on to the championship game. They will be at Wabanzi on Saturday. A big thank you to Phil Dorner for all of his work on the stream, as always. Again, the final score, South Suburban 4, Triton nothing. We'll be back tomorrow for Triton basketball beginning at 5:30, women's and men's doubleheader. And then we'll have the Region 4 men's championship Saturday, Triton versus Prairie State. Again, we don't know what the time will be. As soon as we know, we will update that on TritonAthletics.com. So for our entire Triton family, Tim McKinney saying so long and good night from the multi-purpose stadium. South Suburban 4, the Trojans nothing. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.